So let's talk about Emerson Royal after that performance at Anfield at the weekend, because I think it's important to call out a decent performance. We've all been very quick to jump on Emerson this season, and quite rightly so with some of the performances. And attacking, he leaves a lot to be desired defensively. At times as well, he's not the greatest. And obviously over the course of the season, we've all been screaming for the fact that we need a new right wing back this summer. That performance at Anfield was 100 times better than most performances he's put in this season. He was really solid defensively, winning headers, winning some tackles, putting his body on the line. And going forward, he kind of did his job. Played his part in the goal, didn't he? Whether or not that was exactly the pass he was meaning, I'm not so sure. I still think ultimately he kind of, shinned that a little bit. Fortunately, it still fell nicely to Harry Kane to be able to take down. But, he had a really good game. But ultimately, I think we're still saying that, he will need to be replaced this summer still, because, yes, he had a better game, but there were still signs that showed a weakness that in that right wing back position you can't afford to have. Having gone one up, we had a couple of real good opportunities in that second half straight after going one up, where some decent balls in and we potentially are able to get a second and kind of see the game out in the end. And ultimately, again, Emerson showed his flaws there, because it was him that was put in the good positions down that right hand side, and the crossing just wasn't good enough, and wasn't able to kind of allow us to get that second goal. Straight after the first, there's a chance where he's played through, the ball is on to Sonny in the centre, he doesn't play that to Son. In my opinion, he overhits a cross. Sessegnon is coming in at the back post, but again, because the cross was so overhit, Sessegnon isn't able to bring it down the way he probably want to, and that chance goes begging. And there was another chance pretty similar to that. So we have to give him credit, because that was a much better performance. And I think if we'd seen performances like that over the course of the season, we'd probably be saying, well, okay, we might still need better, but he could be a good backup. But one game isn't going to change those views for me. But we have to call it out, because that was a great performance. The team had a great performance, but he was part of that. And his performance and his defending in that game was really key. So, yes, ultimately, much better from Emerson Royal. But we do still need to look for a much better option to kind of see the next season out and be our regular starting right wing back. And chances are we'd have Doherty. Given what Doherty has shown us before his injury, I would still say that he would be my backup right wing back for next season. And ultimately, Emerson, for me, it would still be a player I would see off in the summer and look to improve on. But got to give him credit where it's due, because we are on his back a lot. But that was a performance that, warranted a lot of praise at Anfield on the weekend against a tough side, and a side where I think a lot of us thought he could be one of those players that really lets us down. So well played, Emerson. Try and do that on Thursday, mate.